Frank Fritz, a popular star of American Pickers, passed away at the age of 60, and his guardian has disclosed the burial arrangements that have been made for him. On Monday night, Frank passed away while surrounded by loved ones, including Mike Wolfe, who was a buddy and co-star on the American Pickers television show. In an exclusive interview with the United States Sun, Chris Davis, who is also Frank's guardian and a close friend, disclosed the burial arrangements for the late History Channel star. It is planned that in the future there will be a celebration of life. It is going to be really significant. Fans are welcome to attend. We already have a number of bands, including my own band, that are interested in participating in it. There is a good chance that this will take place in the spring. Chris continued by saying, "I will say that Frank loved his fans, and that he passed away peacefully with friends by his side. Francis was a good friend of Chris's." Said going away. "With a shattered heart, I share with all of you that Frank went away last night." Mike captioned a romantic flashback photo he had taken with his friend on Tuesday morning. "It is with a broken heart that I share with all of you that Frank passed away. I have known Frank for more than half of my life, and what you have seen on television has always been what I have seen. As a dreamer who was just as sensitive as he was witty, Frank has always been the same. Frank had the ability to touch the hearts of a great number of people simply by being himself, and he did this in the same way that he did on camera. In front of millions of people who were interested in our journeys, who would have ever imagined that we would be sitting in the same cockpit of a white cargo van. Before the show, we would take off together to places we never knew existed with no destination in mind, and just the shared passion to discover something interesting and historic. Qnestions or relating to health. Frank experienced a stroke in his home in Iowa in July of 2022, and this passing comes 2 years after the hospitalization. Unfortunately, Frank was unable to recover from the stroke, since he was taken to the hospital for pneumonia and a seizure 4 times between 2022 and 2023. He was transported to the hospital for both of these conditions. Additionally, in August of 2022, Frank's close friends submitted paperwork to establish a conservatorship and guardianship for him. Frank's conservator was Midwestone Bank, and his close friend Chris Davis was his guardian. Additionally, Midwestone Bank was Frank's conservator. The documents that were obtained by the United States, some stated that Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired as a result of his stroke that he is unable to care for his own safety or to provide for necessities such as food, shelter, clothing, or medical care, without which physical injury or illness may occur. According to the statement, Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to make, communicate, or carry out important decisions concerning his own financial affairs. During the time that Mr. Fritz is still recuperating and receiving treatment for his injuries, decisions need to be made regarding his care and placement. For the purpose of preventing immediate harm to him, it was determined that the appointment of a guardian and conservator was necessary. In addition to assisting Frank with his treatment for Crohn's disease, the guardian was responsible for bringing him to physical therapy sessions, as well as assisting him with grocery shopping and cooking. Due to the fact that Frank required skilled and long-term nursing care at the time, Midwestone sought in July that the star's finances be transferred to them. Frank's reconciliation. Due to the fact that a ramp was constructed outside of Frank's farm home in Iowa, he was permanently confined to a wheelchair after having a stroke. A source had earlier stated to the United States Sun that although he is able to walk, he will always require the wheelchair because he is unable to walk for extended periods of time. "You basically lose motion," she said. His mobility was lost. Stroke can affect either the left or the right side of the body. The last edition of Frank's show aired in March of 2020. His back surgery, which resulted in 185 stitches and 2 rods being placed in his spine, caused him to leave the program in order to heal. Over the course of his vacation, Frank was able to shed 65 pounds and take steps toward leading a healthy lifestyle, including abstaining from alcohol. Mike said that he was officially terminated from his position in 2021, despite the fact that he had expressed his desire to return to the series following his absence. At the time, Mike expressed his sentiments by saying, "I will miss Frank, just like all of you, and I pray for the very best and all good things for him on the next part of his journey." As Frank said in an interview with the United States Sun in 2021, "I haven't talked to Mike in 2 years." This event occurred after the two individuals had a disagreement. Despite the fact that he was aware that my back was infected, he did not call me to inquire about how I was doing. But that is the way things are. I have a feeling that Mike is trying to persuade his brother Robbie to take my place in the position. I am really perplexed as to why he is acting in such a manner toward me. Immediately following Frank's stroke, the two were able to make amends. Paying your tribute. The co-star of Frank, Danielle Colby, paid tribute to him by posting a series of photographs. In her letter, she said, "Frank, I will miss your ability to make everyone laugh, your love for talking tattoos, and your epic collections, but what I will miss the most are those little glimpses of vulnerability that you would occasionally give me. Frank, you had a deep affection for your mother and your cat, and it was because of these things that we became close. Not only for all of these reasons, but also for a great many others, you will be missed. Street Dog, may you rest in peace." The person who took over for Frank on American Pickers, Mike Wolfe, expressed his sorrow by saying, "It is with a heavy heart that I am sad to say that my friend Fritz passed away last night. You were all familiar with him from watching television, but I knew him from my time spent fishing, traveling, and by my family. My twin kids were blessed with him as their godfather. The fun that he shared with others was infectious, and we will miss him. In the end, it was just time spent sitting on a fishing boat and having conversations about life. I have no doubt that you are in a better area. I love you, friend, and I hope that you are able to catch the big one. Until we meet again in paradise, I want you to keep the boat steady." Between the years 2010 and 2020, Frank was a contestant on American Pickers.